Welcome to Mom Matters. I'm your host, Alyssa Dver. And in the next 10 easy-to-watch minutes, we're going to give you some practical ideas for more productive parenting. Tonight's topic is the birds and the bees and money doesn't grow on trees. And how do you teach your kid about personal finance? We have an expert with us tonight. Jameel Webb-Davis is here. She's the founder of Start Money Smart. And rather than me explaining it, Jameel, why don't you explain a little bit about the organization, because it's fascinating how and why you started it.
Yes, I decided to start Money Smart. I started my own business helping small business owners organize their finances. And I came across so many people with money who couldn't get their bills paid on time every month. And that just amazed me. And I didn't realize how much of an issue it was. And so I started educating, and I actually was asked to speak at some organizations, and it just kind of took off. And so I created I have my business that I help people get organized, but then I created a separate organization, a nonprofit org, Start Money Smart, and I focus on teens, but I talk to everybody about financial literacy. And I tend to focus on points about money, accumulating wealth. Because I see so many people with money who can't get their bills paid on time, I try to emphasize to people that the accumulation of wealth, that saving money, that investing, that getting rich is not going to teach you how to manage your money. And so that's what I focus on when I talk to kids as well.
That's great. So other than not being able to pay your bills, what were some of the implications that you were seeing, particularly with teens who didn't have a clue about what to do with money?
Well, it's amazing how we just kind of assume that if we teach our kids to save, if we get them to a good college, if they get good jobs and make good paychecks, all the rest just kind of falls into place. And it's amazing how many kids don't really understand how a checking account works. Online banking, automatic deduction, debit cards, prepaid credit card, all this stuff. What comes out of your paycheck when you get a job? No idea about 401ks or even post-tax deduction, pre-tax deduction. How does that whole paying tax thing work? Or staying organized so your bills get paid. I always have to convince people, or convince kids and their parents, that paying bills is an organizational issue. It's not a money issue. A lot of people think that people with money pay their bills and people without money don't pay their bills. And it's not that way at all. And it's like this secret. And a lot of low-income people think, oh, rich people pay their bills all the time. And a lot of rich people that I know say, don't tell anybody. But this is a problem I have. And I know a lot of other people with this problem. And then I also have a class on credit cards, which is a huge topic.
Oh,
and
sure.
The credit card industry is so complex. And so just explaining how credit cards work is a huge thing. And a lot of times the parents, we grew up in a whole different generation. 25 years ago, nothing was around like we have now.
Right.
And so they don't even know to teach their kids this stuff. And
why don't they teach it in schools? It's so important.
it's amazing.
Why don't we teach it? Why isn't it a subject?
I did a lot of research on this, and it was amazing. You don't need to know this information to go to college. It's not on the MCAS. You can go to a school and talk to a principal or talk to a teacher who firmly believes that we should teach this, and he'll say there is no room in the curriculum. My curriculum is already filled up with everything those kids need to know to go to college, and understanding checking accounts and credit cards and paying bills is not in that list, and so there is no room. So when I go into schools, I go to public schools, I go to private, I go to nonprofits, I go and I tell them after school, during the summer, we have to find some time to teach these kids.
That's really great.
Yeah.
I want to take a break at this point because we're going to come back, and I know you have some really great ideas and tips and all kinds of wisdom about how to teach these kids to be more responsible on the financial side. We'll be right back.
Please Stop the Roller Coaster, How Parents of Teenagers Can Smooth Out the Ride, is a discussion group program designed for parents. In addition to the parents' book, the program can be complemented by secular, Christian, or Jewish leaders' guides. With expert advice, Please Stop the Roller Coaster will help parents improve communication with their teens to help them avoid risky behaviors. Learn more and download free excerpts at www.pleasestoptherollercoaster.com.
Welcome back to Mom Matters. We're here tonight with Jameel Webb-Davis talking about how to teach your kids about personal finance, so to speak.
Yeah.
And I'm a mom, you're a mom.
Yes.
Sometimes these things are easier said than done.
Well,
let's start with, when do you start teaching your kids?
It's amazing at a very young age. And, my son's 3.5. I think that's a little young. But he's already understanding counting. He already knows coins. He's already playing with, counting coins. 5, 6 years old. I heard a great idea, which I think a lot of parents should try. Dinner table. Make your kids pay for dessert. Tell them, dessert tonight is 47 cents. Have them go to their piggy bank and pull out 47 cents. Have them learn how to count that at 5, 6, 7 years old. You'd be surprised how many teenagers have no idea how to count out a quarter plus a dime plus a nickel equals this much. And then, make them pay for it, make up numbers, and then when dinner's over and they're asleep, put the money back in their piggy bank.
I was going to say.
You don't have to take their money.
You wouldn't have a whole lot of dessert.
And, it teaches them how to count the coins and do that at the young age. And as they get older, then, you can definitely get them more involved in lots of other things. But even at a very young age of 5 and 6, I think, definitely get them familiar with the coins.
My 8-year-old, and I think we did this maybe a year ago, we gave him a ledger, a check ledger, and as he put money in his piggy bank, he would write it down. When he took money out, he put, and also do the add and the math, the subtraction.
The math is really great.
So it was kind of like a really great thing, but it was always this issue where he would say, I want to save for XYZ thing, and we'd say, well, how much money you have? You'd have to go count his piggy bank. So for him, it was great. He had the
just that ledger. It's amazing when I have the classes and I show them how a check. We actually write out checks and I tell them, you're supposed to keep track. What's this little thing over here? And I have kids say to me, teens say, I thought that was to write down my friends' phone numbers and stuff. They didn't know what that little register was for. But a great way, I think most parents, I tell this in all my classes, and I always have some amazed parents in the front row, just shocked that I give this as a suggestion. But every parent, I think, take the most irresponsible child you have, or most irresponsible teenager you have, and it's their job to bring in the mail every day. They should go to the mailbox, bring in the mail, and you, first of all, have a list of your bills at home. I'm always amazed about how many people don't have a list of the bills that they have to pay every month at home. Have a list. Don't keep it on your refrigerator. It's private. But keep that list and have your most irresponsible child bring in the mail every day. And when the bills come in, have them check it off. Have them see the difference between junk mail and regular mail. Have them see all those credit card offers. Have them open the Visa bill and let them see what an electric bill is and the gas bill and the water bill and all these bills that come in that you need to manage the house. And then have them check them off. And when all the bills have arrived, then they keep them in a folder together and they hand it to you. And Mom and Dad, it's time to pay the bills. Now, when I suggest this, I can see your eyes getting big. When I suggest this, I always have parents saying, this is horrible. My 16-year-old boy would lose everything. There was no way that this would work. And of course, you'd work with the child at first, to make sure he understands what to do or she understands. But, if a 16-year-old can't handle that task, imagine what they can do when they're 23, what they can't do when they're 23. Right, sure. And so it's really important just to have these kids understand what it takes just to manage the day-to-day tasks of managing money. We so focus on investing in 401ks and stock market and all that, and those day-to-day managing of your money gets completely ignored. And have them see that. Have them get involved in what it takes to come up with money when the water heater goes out, or our refrigerator doesn't work and we have to decide how we're going to handle this with our money. Get the kids involved in those discussions. Really? We try to shelter our kids and protect them from this knowledge, thinking this will stress them out or something. And a lot of parents just don't want their kids to know. They don't want them to know what the mortgage is. They don't want them to see what they make and how much is in their checking account.
I think it's part of our culture. I mean, I think with my parents, it was easier talking about sex than it was talking about money.
Oh, easily.
Even to this day, for that matter.
Oh, I have parents tell me that's none of my kids' business to see what's in their checking account, and they'd hold it against me. They would blame me for spending too much money on the refrigerator or something like that. And I think, we've really ruined the situation for these kids. We have to let them see.
So definitely expose them to the money issues. Let them be involved as early as.
As far as counting money, 5 or 6 years old. But as far as getting involved in the bills, there's plenty of 10 and 11-year-olds that can to see that stuff. And I think they should. They should really understand.
That's fantastic. We're going to put a link on our website so that people can get to you, get some more information and more resources. I really thank you for being here tonight. It was great. I want to thank our viewers for joining us. Remind everyone about our website, which is www.mom-matters.com. There you can actually subscribe to be notified when we have new videos, and you can see all the previous videos as well as some information about forthcoming ones. So for Mom Matters, this is Alyssa Dver sharing practical tips for more productive parenting.